What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction and back with some more Pet Shop Boys, as well as Luca, who's wandering about. We'll see what she does here. But we're back with Very, 1993. Are you coming up? Apparently you are. And the next track is Dreaming of the Queen. I'm intrigued by the title. Anytime someone refers to Queen, of course it could relate to actual monarchy, and of course the UK had for a very long time a queen. And of course, it could be a queen of history, not just of the 21st century and also the 20th century. But yes, it also makes me think of fantasy, of stories of places once upon a time where there are castles and kings and queens, often cast as villains or at least as authoritarians who are perhaps not sensitive to the will and the wishes of their people. Nevertheless, if you're dreaming of a queen, it sounds like a fantasy about the queen, or at least a desire to be with a queen even when you're not awake. And of course you can daydream, you can have reveries, which are dreams despite not being asleep. So it sounds more positively oriented toward a queen, and perhaps that could be about physical beauty or allure, or it could just be the majesty, the power, the significance of a queen. But yes, I would expect, given that the Pet Shop Boys often write tunes which have very clever and nuanced lyrics about the complications or the confusions of having emotions, whether romantic or more visceral, I would expect it to perhaps be more real-world based, and maybe not so much about actual royalty, but about someone who is in a vaunted position and thus is worthy of a daydream or an actual dream, but is not in any sense an actual regent. So I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. Luca, you're an absolute crazy cat. So this is Pet Shop Boys' Dreaming of the Queen from their 1993 album Very. sonically and lyrically. I like that one a lot. I'll start with the lyrics, because those are often harder for me to remember if I talk about the sonics first. Yeah, it sounds like we were really talking about the actual British royal family, the recently departed Queen, also Princess Diana, who I believe at this time was still alive. Didn't she die like late 90s, like 97 maybe? And if that's even remotely correct, then indeed she would still be alive, and presumably, maybe including her in lyrics like this might not happen had she already passed away. In any case, I was curious because it was clear at first we're talking about at least 3 people, so, I wondered, and then given the reference to coming for tea, it seems like maybe there's some social engagement, but at some point we learn that the narrator is naked, and, it seemed to be like more than one person naked, or at least more than one person with the narrator while they were nude, which made me think of just Neil and Chris more generally. But the idea that, what was it, Diana was embarrassed, but the Queen disapproved, so it seems like there's some comedy, and the public was laughing, so maybe it was, some public appearance or, TV appearance. So it seems like there's some comedy happening in some sort of social setting, but at the highest level of society, if you will. And I'm not quite sure the essence of what that is, but as always, it seems like there's a bit of a nuanced narrative mixed with some comedy and some social commentary. And yeah, the lines were, again, maybe not entirely clear to me, but I was amused trying to follow what was happening. Sonically, I enjoyed it a lot. There was like a true piano little run. There was that part that I was thinking was maybe harpsichord. When I first heard it, I thought it was like a strummed instrument, maybe a guitar played in a sort of plucked way, but then I realized, no, I think that's a harpsichord, or, on a keyboard with a harpsichord kit. And also there were string synths, which is certainly not uncommon with Pet Shop Boys, but I thought they sounded particularly nice in this one. There were those brass riffs, which had a very warm, like bright sort of character. And just generally, I love that trip-hop, breakbeat, syncopated beat rhythm. I thought it really fit well. Some of their tunes have a more 4-to-the-floor sound, a dance floor feel. This one had a bit of a swagger to it because of that syncopated rhythm. And just a really rich, lush sort of track. So one that I enjoyed sonically and lyrically, even if I'm less certain about the latter, and I look forward to people's comments. Shout out to those who wait for the Pet Shop Boys. I've been trying to do them roughly every 2 weeks. It hasn't been that regular, but again, there's so many deep dives that I just try to get around to everything, and it's not like real juggling. It's, I get back to them once I choose to bring them down from the air, meaning just because something hasn't come around in a while doesn't mean it's fallen to the ground. It just means it's still suspended up there, and I'll get to it when I can. A weird analogy, but come with me on that. In any case, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.